My Gavan and Melonin, and well met indeed. I'm Arkir Galajerthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome to episode 1 of the new Candish campaign. I'm very pleased with the result, I have to say. And on the screen, of course, before you are the results. 3,083 total votes cast, Canned and Dorwinian quite close for quite a while. Again, Isengard, always a favourite, but I really am pleased they didn't win, and I would have had to have shuffled it around if they did, but I knew they wouldn't, so I put them in just for you all. But it'd be interesting, I suppose, if all of the bottom people had to vote for one of the top two, but I think Canned would still win, to be honest. All of Harad and Rune surely would plug in for Canned. Maybe Dolamrath and Gondor supporting Dorwinian, possibly Isengard Canned, but who knows how it would actually go. But I would guess Canned would still win. And as has been requested throughout most of the comments in the faction vote video, we will, of course, side with the Blue Wizards and see if I can hold my ground in what is arguably now one of Divide and Conquer's hardest campaigns. I don't hold out too much hope, but I'm looking forward to playing as Canned, and so let's crack on. And I can show you the new menu as well while we're there, and so you can have... So here we are at the newer menu, which you will have already seen in the installation video if you've watched that for version 3, and of course you may already have seen when you have now played version 3, because of course if you have not noticed, by the time you are watching this video, version 3 has now released. We were saying... For so long, people used to ask us, when is the next version going to come out? And we were saying 7. And then, of course, we thought, oh, the next one's called version 3. Why don't we release it on the 3rd of March? And so we started saying 3. And a few people did cotton on, but most people, because of the 7 debacle, no one trusted us. So a few people caught on with the 3 thing. But anyway, there we are. Do enjoy version 3. I hope you were able to install it okay, because the game runs fine, as my long time now on YouTube stands a testament. So we're going to play as Canned. Very hard difficulty as always. Don't show CPU moves, because that slows down your times. We don't want to have a... We do want to have a battle time limit, so we leave that unchecked. Battle time limit helps in case the AI ever just wigs out and doesn't attack you, for example, in a defense, and then you just have to quit and then lose, which is always a pain. There's all of the information regarding Canned if you wish to have a read of that. And it gives you a little bit of an overview. Of course, special features, Blue Wizards. We can't build strongholds. Our rarer units are the Ushishia, Storm Riders, and Oricani Dwarves if we join the Blue Wizards. And Great Beasts and Dark Numenorians if we reject the Blue Wizards. Our notable units, Wind Riders of Canned, Warlords Cataphracts, and Warlords Cataphract Archers. So, let's do it. Welcome to version 3. Now the only differences on this screen, which I would implore you all again to have a read, is of course that Sauron will no longer crash anyone's game, and he is no longer a one-man unit, so he's been taken out of the references to that. But do have a read of that if you're playing for the first time. It is rather important that you do. Feel free to have a read through of the spiel for Canned. And they're lengthy, aren't they? Goodness. Although I wrote the Angmar one the other day, actually. And then when I'd finished, I thought, oh gosh, this is lengthy. But it is, and it should be, to be honest. Welcome to, of course, the new Eastern-themed, or Evil Men, not Eastern Men, really, but Evil Men-themed UI, as you can see here. The only real stopover or thing that we should probably change is, of course, over here, because this was created by Cedric, who singularly uses circular UI images for factions. These are all circular for Cedric, who created the UI. There's circles everywhere suggesting that they would seamlessly fit in. So his UI would fit in and it would be framed very nicely. So we should probably go through and just get rid of that bit underneath so you can't see it. But I wasn't overly concerned. But here we are, Canned, the farthest lands to the east on the known map of Middle-earth, or the most popular map of Tolkien. We are as far east as we can go. And in this little space here... there's a word Canned on the map. That is all we know. Of course, we've taken liberties to ensure Canned actually gets into the game, so we have lands all the way as far west as Chelkar, and we cross north into Oibamari. And our capital is Sturlutza Canned. We are an evil wildmen nation, to understand how Canned plays. So most of our units come from a single barracks line, military lodgings, and it normally has a second tier, which is then... which is what we can build, Generally speaking, the first tier gives you a couple of basic simple units, and then the second tier will give you an awful lot more. But you'll note there are no archers, there's no archery range, then there's no stables, there's no individual barracks, it's just a single military building, which is always very nice. But we pay for that by not being able to build strongholds, so Variag Castle is as high as we can go, which Oibamari is. We cannot go any higher than that. We also cannot get cities or large towns. We are a nomadic peoples. Based heavily on Mongol society. And even in today's world, I appreciate Mongolia has gone through many changes, but Ulaanbaatar, the capital city of Mongolia, houses nearly 50% of the entire population of the country, which only stands at circa 3 million people. So if you want some lore basis as to why Mongol-themed factions shouldn't build cities, Mongolia is the answer. So we don't get cities, we only get towns and large towns. But anyway, let's try and make some money, and as with the Angmar one, we're going to build mines, but I've just noticed how little money we start with. Goodness gracious. Oh dear. Well, if we get those mines in 6 turns, we're getting another 525, and that is worth it. So that's going to be what we have to do first. Right. I'd like to get trade rights set up. Who do we have trade rights with? Harad, Rune, and Mordor. So we're fine, to be honest. Of course, we're going to side with the Blue Wizard, so we know already these people are going to be our enemies. So we do have an option of attacking early. Something that's built into the script is that if you attack straight away, you then the script assumes you're going to join the Blue Wizards, and it just automatically does that for you, which I've always thought is quite a cool little feature. Something you will be noting as you look at our armies at the moment is that we have no free upkeep anywhere. Goodness gracious. Every town is paying for all of its units. No wonder we're not making any money. Sturlatsakand is the only one that's got a meeting hall already. Goodness. So we could probably save just as much money by... well, they would become free, 165. They would become free, 150. Oh, no, they wouldn't, because we can't recruit them either. So we'd have to build recruitment and then meeting halls. Oh, goodness. Do we have other forts? Where's another fort? Ah, there's one there. Yes, Mordor. Do we send the generals or do we send the units? How much money do you... Oh, no, you make us loads of money. We want the tax rates left up as well. We don't really want to move Khan Arkish out because he is free. Which nothing else is. Right, so send the units to the fort. I'm sure no one will hate us when they get there. You're free already, so that's right. Oh, but then he will become free, so... No, he won't. Because Warlord Orash has a specific bodyguard. Right, so get you back. You guys go. Oh, Kizilkum, come on. Why do you hate us? Oh, because the nomadic... Nomadic is what, if memory serves, we will jump to when we swap over to support the Blue Wizards.
How may I serve?
That's as many in that fort as we're going to get. But if we take Togrul out, how's your upkeep? 333, Christ alive. Bartan, can you come?
Our enemies will suffer.
Oh yeah, that's barely anything, isn't it? Let's drop the tax rate down there.
Yes.
We don't have any money at all, do we? No. I'm hitting 264. Goodness gracious me.
Yes, my master.
Right, you, get over there. We're not going to go west. I thought it would be rather fitting, given that Dorwinion was voted second, that whilst we play as an actual evil nation, we should go north and try and hit Dorwinion. But first of all, we've got to actually make some money. So let's get these people into these forts and start building watchtowers. And then we'll go from there. So, here we go, moment of truth. This should take about 15 seconds to move from Dol Amroth to Roham. We're coming up on 10 seconds now. Just past the 10 seconds. Closing in on 15. It might take up to 20. Anything between 15 and 20. And we know we're good. Yes, we know we're good. That was about 15 seconds, almost bang on. So we're good. If it takes anything longer than 20 seconds, then your turns are going to be slow. And the only way to get around it is to reinstall everything. Not ideal, you will appreciate. I also was very tempted. Of course, we've got new music in Divide and Conquer version 3. New music and sound effects and all the whole shebang. And I was very tempted to actually use the version 3's music because I don't think CAD has any or it must have at least one or two. That's why I didn't in the end. But I didn't think it had any Lord of the Rings soundtrack. So, of course, if you put a Lord of the Rings song up on YouTube, it gets flagged so easily. The only way to not get it flagged is that YouTube's little algorithm is looking for bouts of at least 10 seconds of any song. And so if you talk loud enough and constantly over the top of any song, you won't get flagged. As you'll note that a lot of my... a lot of the videos where I've actually had to do some editing, I do have a Lord of the Rings soundtrack that plays in the background. But the trick is by having it play quite quietly and talking over it. So the algorithm or the YouTube's auto defense against this kind of thing can't hear it. And you're free as well, aren't you? How much does Oibamari hate? Not really much. Let's get some more watchtowers up on the borders. So the trick obviously is to just make it so that it can't hear it, but I didn't want to risk it really, to be honest, because I don't like to mod once I've started a campaign. I think it's very bad form and all sorts of things can go wrong anywhere. And I really don't like it. So I didn't... Whatever music I could get at the beginning was the music I was going to have. So it will be the YouTube styled music that I've got, I'm afraid. Which, of course, is Adrian von Ziegler. Because I won't add anything going forward. And this was all that was available to me when I started. I could, of course, redo... I mean, the original YouTube overhaul music I'd made... so I could just redo it and add some other music. I've recently got a load of music from a gentleman called Vindswept on YouTube. And I'm sure that's probably copyright free too, so I could have added that as well, but if you're interested in a little bit of a lore lesson about Canned as we play as them, or you guys are going to want to move to the other fort if we... No, as soon as I move you out, we're losing money. No, let's wait at least until we've got the mines built, and then we can... try to earn money. Like, if we can just get mines up in a few places that build mines, then we'll be alright, hopefully. But anyway, a lore lesson on Canned. I'm afraid there is absolutely none. We know nothing about Canned. Everything you're seeing here is entirely fictionalized and made up by us. The only reference to Canned in the books is a single sentence where they have strong axes. And that's about it. It just says the Varyags have Canned with their keen axes or strong axes or something along those lines. It is a completely unknown land. And so we can do what we like with it, basically. So we have done. But rest assured that the script choice and then thus the carnage is only, I think, about 40-odd turns in. So it's not going to be 60, 70 turns like that, i.e. a couple of episodes of me doing sod all. We will have the trouble of the wizards soon enough. But if we can head north and take some lands from Dorwinion in the meantime, I'd be very grateful. I'd like that. Oh, we're actually creeping up into the realms of money. Do we want to try and save for another mine, or do we want to start using that money to build the odd thing that's going to give... See, that gives a 50 gold return. That's 20 turns till it pays itself off. Just under 18 turns. That one's a little less again, about 18 turns, or 19 turns, I think. 760 would be... No, so you'd have to... It would be 20. 20 turns to pay themselves off, but... An extra 50 gold is not really going to do out, is it? I think it probably is better to wait and try and get the mines. Of course, you could also get the Mason's Hall, but that will only reduce the mines by 450 gold coins, and it costs 950 to build it. So in the short term, not advised. In the longer term, it is advised. I do recall, I have played Canned before, I think purely for testing, way back when Canned was first introduced, or even back when I first joined the modding team, I think actually, like 6 or 7 years ago. And I remember the start, until the wizards were added, Canned was arguably the most boring faction in the whole game, because the addition of Chelkar and pushing you right out to the west is a relatively new thing that Hummingbird implemented only a few years back. Previously, Canned just held like these 4 regions that you can see there on the screen, from Oibamari to Stelutza. And that was it. That was the entirety of your holdings. And you didn't have any risk of going to war with the people near you through some sort of script, You'd be peaceful with them all for as long as you wanted. And so the campaign was about waiting for ages, building a large enough army that's going to be able to get a foothold in, say, Gondor or Dorwinion or wherever you're going. And then hoping your army doesn't get beaten by the fact that you're fighting in their heartland. And to be honest, it was really dull. And that is the biggest driving force as to why we introduced the Blue Wizards for Khand and not Rune or Harad, which a lot of people wanted. Because Khand had nothing. Well, right, they're the kind of evil Rohan. They were the only evil nation that really focused on cavalry properly. But when you're miles away from the fighting, no one cares about that. So I don't think many people played Khand. I did also see, I mean, I've never seen a Khand Let's Play. I flit around on certain YouTubers' channels. I don't tend to watch Let's Plays, but I know of the ones that are proceeding. And I don't think I personally have never really seen any Khand Let's Plays, but there were a couple of people in the comments on the Faction Vote video that suggested that everyone plays Khand and it's such an overdone faction and no one plays Dorwinion, but I personally thought it was rather the other way around. And that Khand is barely ever done. Well, at least we've now got long sight range and Shelkar, which doesn't really matter because Harad, when they do come for us. Oh, we could actually mop up these regions. What am I doing? You moron. This army. Go out and beat Harad to that. We're going to lose money. And we are. But,
Yes, my master. As you will.
I don't want to go to war with Gondor. I don't want to provoke Gondor. But I do want Far Shelkar. Get that as soon as we can. And if possible, Lermsakun as well. Try and beat Harad to these places. But our only army is this army, so we must use it. Togrul comes with Variag Swordmen and Khandish Raiders. Everyone else still building watchtowers for us. I love watchtowers. Cannot get enough of my watchtower. Now, of the UI that you are looking at on the screen, the one at the bottom, this big bar, I changed a couple of items from Cedric's UI, and this screen was one of the ones that got the most changes, because the build and train buttons at the bottom there, I put back in the building that we have and the helmet that we have, as opposed to the monkey god helmet that Cedric chose for his mod. I didn't think that was really rather fitting for... Well, certainly it wasn't fitting for Divide and Conquer. It may well be fine if you're playing Third Age Total War, I guess, but I didn't really think any of our evil men nations or evil Eastern men nations had a particular kind of leaning towards a more Indian theme with a like monkey god style head. Oh, we got our mines up. Yes. Well done, Stellutzer. Oh, goodness, your second mines are very wealthy as well. Does Kisselcombe get mines? Oh, yes, but you're the least important of the mines. And yours? Fourth? Yeah, you're the next one then. We want those. We do want those. So we'll wait. Won't have to wait too long, hopefully. And Togrul will arrive in wherever it is. And we'll have trade rights with Gondor shortly. Once we get there. Where's the nearest Gondor town? Osgiliath. Try and set favourable relations early. Are we actually at war with them? Oh yeah, let's try and break that. I'll happily go to war with Dorwinion for now.
Our enemies will stop. Noble one.
You two are crossing paths. So
Set watch patrols.
we won't be able to build towers, of course, on the hills and mountains to the east of our capital. Now, part of the reason why I wanted to also have the actual version 3 music for Khand is because El Monstero added throat singing, Mongolian throat singers to the Khandish sounds, which I thought was rather funny.
Nothing will escape you here. Nothing will escape you here.
Good, I'm glad.
Further. An honor to serve.
Push a bit further on.
Setting
Yes.
a watch here.
And I'll have a watchtower there, please. Thank
Setting a
you.
watch here. Tomorrow's journey awaits.
Sight range, such a blessing.
Yes, noble master. Yes.
Aha! Follow the roads. Yes! And we beat them to it. Brilliant. What have we got? Goodness gracious! This is the Hashari capital, evidently. Garheim and Netley's. How are we going to beat that? What have you got? Sorry. Oh, of course, cavalry out. 2 units. I don't think we are going to beat that. Is my thinking there. Also, you will note that rather unfortunately, Khand are one of the now few nations in the game that do not have any training capabilities in towns. Unfortunately. Land clearance has already been built. Nothing from there. Oh, hang on. No. Do not listen to me. Do not listen to me. I may be the modding leader, and I may have been at this for years, but I still am an idiot. Yeah, there we are. We do. So they come from the same building that gives them free upkeep. It's so tempting to go around then and get a few meeting halls because they give free upkeep and they train our units. So we could actually get free upkeep, and so these units, this will all join our... In all of these towns, we will then suddenly have free upkeep, or Amukand and Khazad-dum. But then actually, Iltig, he won't be. Oh no, he would, because they come from... The town hall gives free upkeep to your leaders. How much do you cost? I can't actually remember. Are you insane? 350, Christ, yes. Right, that is going to bring us more money then than the mines will. So, oh, that's so frustrating that we can't get that last one for that few small amount of gold. And we've got bloody bandits rocking around. Oh, God's sake. I'm under pressure mentally because I know how just painfully difficult siding with the Blue Wizards is. And I really want to have a good economic foundation. But then also I'm fairly certain, if memory serves, that when you side with the Blue Wizards, most of your towns rise up against you. So this may all be for naught. We might be really scuppered. Right, here we go. Can we do it? Cavalry for the win.
Find a way to an honorable victory.
Fingers crossed. We don't really actually have enough troops to try this, to be honest. But we'll give it a whirl. Right, well, there's our general. There's our bodyguard. Variag nobles. They are horse archers. And there's our actual general. And then there's our very cool-looking swordman. With the back flags. Oh, we got bowmen. Oh, I didn't realise that. And then 2 units, of course, of Candish raiders. We are, of course, if you do not know anything about the Divide and Conquer's version of Cand, we are a cavalry archer civilization. And we are all about cavalry archers. Which is a shame because it's raining. Hashari don't have any shields, so... And I don't think they have the best armor stats either. I will pop you in that mode so you can run away when the time comes. Although we're not really getting any kills at the moment, are we? Goodness. And they're shooting back. They're shooting back! Those. The shadows. Come on. Just lose everything you've got. And they attacked us. Why aren't they moving in on us? Is there any sort of hill that we can use? Not really. If we moved over here, we'd be a bit flatter. It's not really worth it, is it? No, especially not now they're coming. What do we got? 1%! Goodness gracious. I don't think we are going to win, friends. But make sure the cavalry archers stay behind. And then at least they can charge in the back. Our swordmen, though, are not going to be a match for those Ashari. And they're only just going into wide formation. Oh my goodness. Hold your ground now. Hold your ground. 4%. Oh, we've lost 4% too. To be honest, actually, I think it's so written in stone that we're not going to win this that we should probably just back out. Screw it. Give them all you have. Right, we'll use the general to our advantage. If you guys no longer try and flee, then you'll just do what you're told. You folks, curl back to the north. General!
Curse the sun that shines on our disgrace. We must win
oh dear, what's going on with the...
ashes instead of victory.
When our army is dying, they're all T-posing. That seems like a bug to me, but I couldn't tell you for why or where on earth that is coming from. Did you actually charge in there, or have you just been fools, haven't you? No, we are getting massacred. We are getting massacred. I don't know, is Togrul our faction heir? Move over to that side. Go on, get a good charge in. And again, hit them again. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, you killed a few. Back out, back out. Might do it if we can cycle. If we can just keep up the cycle charging. As soon as we finish firing all of our arrows as well, they become actually
half of our men.
much better dedicated cavalry. Who's that moving in? The Ashari shadows are closing in on for melee. Damn it. Our archers do appear to have been decimated. Bugger, I've got them into a trap. Go, 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 go. Run. Nice. Well, not really. We just lost a load to arrow fire, but some got out. And our archers have been absolutely annihilated. I should say that whilst we are a cavalry archer civilization, we are not a dedicated archer civilization. Nice. Tag team. Quick, run away, run away, run away. We might be able to do it if we can just play the cavalry game. But they've still got so many units left. So many units left. There's only 9 of them. No, we aren't going to win this, are we? We should back out while our general still lives.
Curse, the enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
There's just too many of them. Cycle charging's not going to do it. Nah, pull out. It's over. Get away with what you can. Men, valiantly cover our retreat. Oh, their sprite's a bit out. Oh no, I think that probably... Yeah. No, I think their sprite needs to be redone, to be honest. Well, we came damn near close though, 60%. If we had another unit of cavalry, we might have done it.
Next time will be different.
Oh, well done, cavalry archers, all getting close on. Ashari are, of course, a late-game Khazad-dum unit, so to have killed that many, I think that's something of a win. I don't know. Should definitely have used our own archers and infantry much better. I don't know, I didn't block our archers with our infantry, but anyway. What's done is done, it's over now. And we'll be earning a lot more money now with all of those units. Every cloud has a silver lining, and the silver lining in Total War games is that when your units die, you don't have to pay to feed them anymore. And it's something that you would never really talk about to their faces, of course, but it's there in the back of your mind when you're surveying your camp. You don't see soldiers, you see drains on your economy, and you just want to plug each one.
Moving on. Yes, my master. As you will. As you will.
Oh, Morna have already taken it. Oh, blimey.
As you will. I have come to the end of today's road.
Tolui. Haven't looked at our family. Oh, of course, we don't have a family tree. We are Teutonic.
I will not wait.
The rebels are chasing me down.
Yes. Setting a watch here. At once. Setting our enemies will suffer.
Some more towers. We are going to unfortunately have a large section of nothingness.
An honor to serve.
Go and stand in that fort for now.
Prevailed. Victory.
Get way more money. Chelkar, you can now build us meeting halls, and then once you're done, we'll take your mines. And then that should get us some more money. As I say, as soon as Kizilkum and Amukan build those meeting halls, then our income should go up by 600 or 700.
Yes.
Should we send that lot south though to counter? We really would quite like that town. Yeah, go on.
We shall end this day in
We'll
triumph.
take the little economic hit, because we're about to gain an economic bonus, so... If we can get those south, I think we can win with overwhelming numbers rather than cavalry tactics. Now, playing as Cand is going to be a test for me and for yourselves watching, because I loathe the micromanagement required to properly and effectively control cavalry. And it takes everything in me to just focus on exactly what I'm doing, or I mismanage the cavalry constantly. So it may be to my detriment. Get him out of there. But as expected, there we are. They are now free. Our money situation is improved massively, and once he gets in that fort, we'll be all right as well. You could actually build us... No, Galu. Just focus on the money. We will wait until Cheldkar can build us mines, and then we will go from there. But we're only a few days out. So we can just keep building our towers. Oh, I completely forgot to move the diplomat. 10 turns in, we haven't taken a single province. But then you've got to have a sound economy, which is what YouTube is teaching me. Is you can't just build a load of units and think, oh, by having towns, that will be enough. Whilst that is accurate, and if you do expand quickly, you do get money relatively well.
Be worth our time.
Ah, yes.
I accept this wonderful deal with pleasure.
Trade rights.
Well, that seemed
more
fruitful.
money.
Farewell.
Who else do we want trade rights with? Dual Amroth, we're relatively close. Some of their trade might get through, I suppose. There we are. Oh, we had a mission. Oh, it was to go to them. I thought a mission popped up. I just wasn't paying attention.
As you will.
Whoops. Build us a tower up there. It can't hurt to have another one.
Setting a watch here. At once. Setting
Now
a
we're
watch
building
here.
the second line of towers.
Tomorrow's journey. Yes.
So he continues
move.
building the
Nothing will
back
escape
line
you
of
here.
towers.
Resting here.
And...
How may I serve?
Ah, we're only 3 turns away. And then that, well, apart from those 8, let's just disband those. The other 2 will be relatively useful. And we are about to build mines, so let's queue them up, because they will build. And we'll have an extra 1,000 after that, actually. I think Oibamari, you should probably get Meeting Hall. Now, both of those should build. But then there's always fluctuations in your income that you can't foresee, so they may not. One of them may not succeed. I probably also, thinking about it and looking back now, should have cut all of this out to at least the point that our secondary army arrives at Kruk Mahur. Is that what it's called? We just attacked it, I can't even remember. Kruk Mahur, yes. And now we have a mission to go to the Men of Dol Amroth.
As you will. Resting here. Tomorrow's journey
1, 2, 3,
awaits.
4. Ah, good. We'll get there in time. That'll give us a nice 500 gold boost. And did our mines build? Yes, they did. We're making much better money. Let's keep pumping that back into economy. More mines, I suppose. We just want to keep with the mines. Everyone that can build them, build them. See, those 2 are quite good. We'll go with those 2 next. Oh, you've got gold. You only get 450.
Yes, noble master. Yes.
Ah, you're our factionaire.
Setting a watch here.
And you have Wind Riders of Khand, right. So, well, we'll send you, whilst you're building towers, you can also go south. Oh, we're about to reach the edge of our towers, aren't we? Of course.
Noble one.
So, Orash, once you've built that tower, head further south and link up with Togrul, and you 2 can go and take...
Our enemies will
Mahar.
suffer. By
Ah, we're
your
out of money.
will. Resting here.
Oh, and I forgot to... Damn it! There could have been 350 extra gold coins. I'm really desperately racking my brains for the process of the Blue Wizards and how it works. I know that there's no kind of early warning message, if you will, so that's why we haven't seen anything so
You
far.
shall see all
But
from
I'm
here.
pretty sure it's about turn 45, and
noble master.
I'm fairly certain most of our towns will rebel against us at the point that they
How may I
arrive.
serve? We march.
And then it's a case of
Noble one.
rapidly trying to reclaim your
At
nation.
once.
Orders.
Yes.
Right, we're there.
How may I serve?
An honor to serve. Tomorrow's journey awaits.
And Oibamari got a meeting hall as well. Nice. That gives us 3 free upkeep here. 2, sorry. The castle. No, we want mines now, as I say. Only are 2 turns away from getting them. So we'll go with Amikhan first. Oh, it doesn't matter, actually. Just queue them both and build when you build. Need to get rid of those rebels,
I will
though.
not waste words on you.
They cause devastation.
Yes. Nothing will escape you here. We move.
Also, I really would quite like to
Nothing
head
will
south and
escape
get
you
Sayakhan.
here. By your will. Set watch patrols. We rest here.
Which is the region town down
Nothing will
here on the
escape
borders
you
of the
here.
desert. Maybe we'll send Bartan.
Enemies
So,
will suffer.
Latsakan has a meeting hall. That's good to know. Now, making that 10% cheaper will be way better. 850. That means the Mason's Hall will almost pay for itself on the first building you use it on. And then, of course, as the other buildings all come through, it will quickly pay for itself.
Double one.
But for now, it's entertaining game. As we now attack Kruk Mahur again. No, once the army's beaten Kruk Mahur, of course. Harad probably aren't focusing on Sayakhan, sorry. So if we can nip over and get that as well, that's another town. Taxes are taxes, even if it won't boost our trade or anything. Bolster
As you
our
will.
trade.
I
Oh,
have come to
don't
the
I'm
end
just
of
there.
today's road. Resting here.
Right.
Orders. Joining the rank.
This will be an honorable battle. Yes, noble master.
If they don't rise up straight away, you'll get or Rash as well as a secondary boost.
Yes.
Right, build us that tower and then go on a scouting
Nothing will
mission.
escape you here.
I will send
By
him
your
down to have a
will.
look. There's no reason not to, is there? Let's get everything to grow. Oh, hang on. You're a large town. You won't grow. So no, we do not want you to grow. Well, I mean, growth does still equate to tax, but of course it gets to a point where they then start to hate you, and so you've really got to plan it out.
I will not waste words
I'd
on
like
you.
Yamruk to be dealt with, but we just don't have an army. This is such a frugal start. I didn't realise we can't have so little money. It's like we've not only tried to make this campaign hard, we've also tried to make it devilishly annoying by giving you no money, no troops, farthest away from anywhere of any importance, no real provinces of wealth, and just saying, go on, get it done. Right, they did rise up. This time we outnumber them, but we've got steppe units, which are our worst. But we've got a dedicated unit of charging cavalry, the Countish Raiders still, and they are now down really to just their archers. So I don't think we need to wait for Orash. We'll go in. We'll give them a damn good thrashing.
Not one of us shall fail to keep all in battle.
Welcome back. So I have to hold my hands up there and say I'm afraid that crash was entirely my fault, and the method by which I have the YouTube campaigns installed on my computer and the way that I have the YouTube campaigns installed on my computer, unfortunately, I, like an absolute moron, deleted certain executables the other day because I thought, oh, I no longer need these, because I'd completely forgotten exactly how I made the YouTube builds work. And so then I, after deleting them and realising my mistake, I quickly put them back in, but I put back in the wrong ones. And so large address aware was not able to run on the executable I was using. And so it, of course, caused my game to crash. So I've ported or moved my build back into the standard Steam location with the legitimate Medieval 2 executable. And I am now, and it's now working fine. So to put it into, to explain exactly what I do is that in order to ensure my YouTube campaigns aren't tampered with, I don't accidentally use files or edit files or anything like that, the build that actually houses the Angmar and the Khand campaign is separate to the Steam Apps Common Medieval 2 folder. I copied the contents of Medieval 2 to its own folder in C, in program, in just on my C drive. But then, of course, that means that it doesn't run through Steam because it's not in the Steam folder, so Steam can't run the game for you. And so I then used the little patch that you used to be able to download that allowed you to run the game, the disc version of the game, without a disc. Now, I've got the disc version of the game, so whilst I'm sure in some practices that's piracy, pretty sure that's how piracy works, is that you use a cracked patch to play without needing the disc. But I use it just so that I didn't have to put the disc in every single time. And anyway, so I used that patch to run the YouTube campaigns. But I had edited it, or I had taken it from somewhere else, and large address aware did used to work for it, because of course all of my campaigns up to this point used to work fine. But when I deleted those executables literally yesterday, I feel like such an idiot. I removed the large address aware flagging from it, and then the patch that I then copied back in is an older one, and thus it didn't work. And so it is entirely my fault. The game does run fine, and it's frustrating me so much that I've just had that error pop up, because I'm supposed to be here showing you that the game runs fine, and then here I am crashing on a seemingly nothingy battle. I mean, clearly the fact that I am now playing the battle should highlight to any naysayers that there is no crash, and it is purely because the way that I had Medieval 2 installed. So anyway, it is over now. It should be fine. Those Hashari really want to hit my cavalry. I'm not sure why. Right, well, we might as well just charge headlong into these people. I think. They're all bunched up, so our cavalry will hit nicely. While the Hashari just chase us around the map, our step archers are getting shots off. So. You didn't appear to be charging into the right unit. Well, they've charged now, but I think we lost a lot. Right, you get ready to hit them in the back. You guys just run down the hill a bit. I'll come a bit more over here. I didn't even realise the step tribesmen had been given javelins. That's very cool. Makes a unit actually usable, doesn't it, really? There's a Shari. This one is the general. There he is, the captain. The shadows don't seem to be going for us anymore, though. Right, give us one more javelin volley, and then you can charge into them. Right, go, hit them. Simultaneously. Perfect. Charge the archers back in. You fellows come and start giving the just use numbers to absolutely surround and overwhelm them. Oh dear, our archers aren't being shot despite standing that close. Right, let's get our cavalry out into the flank positions and prepare for this.
We have cut off the serpent's head. The enemy general flees like an old... The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
The enemy is definitely going to die this time. We've got them. But Hashari Shadows are actually a rather good unit, so we don't want to just stand around and let them shoot us. So we'll charge them. Oh, brilliant.
Four fights with horns
Absolutely crushing them there. That was phenomenal. End it. Yes! Yes, Togru! We came back and we said, no, friends, we will have victory. That's a pretty cool looking Schmaug, isn't it? Smaug, sorry, I'm adding an H and there isn't one. I'm really annoyed about my deleting those files and making my Med 2 system not work. Because I'm sometimes, every man makes mistakes. And a couple of times I've been in the wrong folder structure, because of course I've got about 6 iterations of Divide and Conquer. I've got the one I actually mod, I've got one I use for overviews that is crystallized at this point, now version 3 has been released. I've got these two that I use for campaigns, I've got the base Third Age one which I use as a master folder so I don't have to install Third Age all the time, I can just copy and paste it. And then I've got the one where I copy everything to when we're testing DaC on a new, fresh build. So I've got that many, and sometimes I'm in the wrong folder when I'm copying files into our shared mod folder on Dropbox, and it just causes problems. Just causes problems. And so I like to move the YouTube ones just totally into their own folder. They're out of the way, they're unaffected, no dramas. But apparently I've edited that now, and that chance is gone. That window is lost to me. Very disappointed. I think the archers are probably more useful than the steppe tribesmen. Although, really, it was 1 and 1, actually. So... But what we are going to do, because Warlord O'Rash is better and more useful than Togrul, is Togrul is going to take up the continuing tower building duty. Ah, Variag's castle. We can't go higher than that. You get mines as well. Ah, but pitiful ones. No, thank you. We've got free upkeep already, courtesy of it being a castle, so we don't need to worry. At the minute, we share the culture with Harad, but as I say, we will soon be swapping out to be nomadic. So all of that nomadic culture that we're currently rubbing out or cancelling out, we are soon going to be that culture ourselves. Oh, brilliant, we got those mines up. And the next ones we'll build on the next turn. Excellent. Excellent. How much money are we going to make? For, yeah, chuck one of them in as well. Oh, we're just going to miss it, but that's all right. That's all right.
Yes, noble master.
Right, we're allied to Harad at the moment, so just walk through their lands. Pezarsan. Nice.
Noble one.
I'm pleased with that. Good little start. Keep pressing on.
What is it you
Oh
wish
dear.
to discuss?
Trade rights. What are you saying?
It's good
Yes.
to see
Oh, and then that
you.
should pay for our... No. Yes? No? Can't remember. Yeah, no, that should then pay for our mines. That'll take us over the 4,500. And we'll get... and then we'll save for the big mines in our capital. And then that hopefully will set us in a really good financial position. And Syakam will bring wealth with it as well, hopefully.
Your will.
Oh, we haven't reached out to the Ardanaim.
As you will.
Of course.
As you will.
Head south to see
Resting
them.
here.
There's our 500 gold. What do we get for the Ardanaim? Another 500 good. Dark Lord of Mordor likes us. Salatz is building that. Amukan's building its mines. Oibamari's building its mines. Fun fact about Oibamari. I've said it in a video before, but I think it was in an overview video. It used to actually be called Ol-Bamari, like O-L for Lima. But
Yes,
I always read it as Oibamari
At once.
because I apparently struggle to differentiate between capitalized and non-capitalized letters.
We move.
And so then when I realized it actually was O-L, I changed it to O-I because I'd been calling it Oibamari for so long that I didn't like that it was actually Ol-Bamari. So I changed it, which is... sad, really, isn't it? That's abusing my modding power there, just to have something to cover my own mistake.
At once. Setting a watch here. Yes.
Don't need else out. Now we do, of course, get a large supporting army when you side with the Blue Wizards, led by the Blue Wizards with dwarves and with a couple of Ushishia Storm Riders. So we get an army. So we don't need to worry too much about gathering an army to prepare for the event. But so I'm going to ideally try and just build economically for a time.
Noble one. At once. Tomorrow? Yes.
Ah, brilliant, there
By
it is.
your will. Yes.
Right, wait for
noble master.
Togrul
Our
to join you.
enemies will
Oh, it's only a
suffer.
village,
You ask the impossible.
so it won't be that useful. Oh, another coming of age. How prolific is this family? Goodness gracious, get that fort over there.
A most honorable victory.
I like forts.
These lands are ours.
Very
An
useful.
honor to serve.
Now, what I do propose, though, is as this is probably going to be a slower start, I would very much take your opinion on whether or not you would rather now that I then play a kind of like 20 or so turns from here without recording it. So after this one, you'll jump back in around turn sort of 35, 40-ish, because all I'm going to do is take the village of Syakam. So I might do...
Tomorrow's journey awaits.
I don't know, because we're not going to attack anyone else, to be honest. I'm not going to be able to make it to Dorwinion in any reasonable amount of time. We're not going to have a good enough army. So it is going to be one of just sort of sitting and building economically. So I can't imagine many people will have any objection to it. So do post your thoughts and feedback for me there in that regard. But I do plan to now essentially play this off screen for about 35 turns until we get to the point where the Blue Wizards actually arrive and everything kicks off. Because I have no plans of attacking Gondor. I know the Blue Wizards are hard, even if you actually plan for it. That is the feedback we've had from about 3 testers who have all played the Candish campaign. And so I know I'm in for a real hard fight, so it makes sense to prepare for it, to actually try and stay alive and win. And of course, and then at that point, we'll be fighting everyone around us, so the warfare will come to us, if you will. Our front line will be our own nation. So I'm not going to try and move off and attack Gondor now or anything like that, because we're going to want Gondor to be strong to assist us when Mordor rises up. Now I appreciate you're not supposed to go into the the Blue Wizard script knowing what's going to happen and expecting and preparing for it, but I see no other choice really. I think that's all we can do. So please do let me know, because this is where I'm going to end the episode. So pop your comments down below. Should I just play the next sort of 30 turns, as all I'm going to do is build some buildings and muster an army? I'm not going to attack anyone. I'm not going to be attacked. So I can't imagine you're going to want to see that. So I look forward to seeing your comments in that regard for when I record the next episode. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navair Naden Pedemad Melonin, and farewell. And do enjoy version 3, and make sure you installed it properly, like I didn't. Or rather, not like me, who didn't install it properly. Farewell.